Hi, and welcome to another session of One in the Spirit. I'm Dave Clemens, your host, and today I have a very special guest with me, Marni. And Marni, you have been around this church for a very long time. There's a ton of things we could talk about, but I know you have things such as you're the one of the representatives to the presbytery. You've done work in the church school. You've led us and produced concerts and plays and all sorts of stuff you do around here. But today I wanted to talk to you about lay worship leadership. What is it all about? Who is involved? How do you get involved? And so on. So welcome and thanks for being here with me.
Thank you.
So first of all, what is a lay worship leader?
A lay worship leader? Actually, we have a very strong historical tradition of it because we had lay worship leaders in the Methodist Church and in the Presbyterian Church before they joined into the United Church in 1925. And then the United Church of Canada started treating licensed lay worship leaders. That is to say, you had to have a license to preach, to provide pulpit supply. In the Methodist Church, you didn't, and in the Presbyterian Church, they had ordained elders. So now, we've come all the way up to 2017, and you need a license if you wish to preach under the auspices of the presbytery and be paid for it. You need to be licensed under the presbytery.
Okay. So what exactly does a lay worship leader do? What kind of services does a lay worship leader provide, and how is that done?
They can do just about any service. It's any time they provide pulpit supply, and they can provide leadership and other things too, like prayers or children's time or any part of the service. But the primary purpose of hiring a licensed lay worship leader is to provide pulpit supply.
Right, and I know that at one point in the rules, a lay worship leader could only provide that service within his or her own presbytery. Now that's changed.
That has changed. Almost 2 years ago, it was discovered that the Ottawa Presbytery was very rich with licensed lay worship leaders. We had, at that time, I think we had 36. And then some presbyteries in the conference were really bereft. There was one that didn't have any.
Yeah.
And so they made a motion at conference that perhaps we could extend privileges for preaching so that people could cross presbytery boundaries but stay inside the conference. If they are asked to preach outside our conference, they need to come to the licensed lay worship leaders ministry team, right, just to make sure that they're covered.
Now, I don't know if there's something in the water here or what, but we've got a lot of people that have been lay worship leaders here in our church, haven't we?
We have. Right now we have 5. When I first went into licensed lay worship leaders training, we had 5 people from Orleans. 3 of them are now ordained ministers.
Right.
They moved on. And the 4th one decided to continue with music ministry, and the 5th one was me.
And you've been doing this for a little while.
Well, since 2004, yeah, so that's 13 years.
Well, when you talk about us having 5 here in this church, how many in total do we have in the presbytery?
35.
Yeah, because we got a significant number of people that are in lay worship leadership.
35 people. And we've had lots of others, they've left at one time or another. We won't be offering any courses for licensed lay worship leader for a while because we're so rich with them. We have so many. Right. Some of them, 1 or 2 have gone on to ordained ministry, others have left for other reasons, but there's always 1 or 2 more that want to use their abilities to lead worship.
And I guess with the advent of the new structure in the church, there may be even more call for it.
That's going to be really, really interesting because we don't yet know how, it looks as if we'll be part of a region, right, and we don't know how the licensed lay worship leaders are going to be dealt with in that context. I would suspect they'll probably do something very similar to what they have now, but instead of conference boundaries, they'll be inside regional boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
That's only an educated guess right now. We have no idea.
So what does it take to become a lay worship leader?
Well, first, if someone feels a call, and I know a lot of ours do, they have such a strong call, then they have to arrange for an interview in their own congregation to decide if they have the right approach, not the right approach, but an approach that will help them go on that way. Usually it helps to have a team of maybe 3 or 4 people that can support them as a mentoring team. And then once they recognize the fact that they're recommended by the congregation as being a good choice for training for pulpit supply, then they join a 2-year course. And it's 2 years for a reason, because there are book reports that have to be written. They cover, so many topics: theology, the Old Testament, the New Testament, the polity of the United Church, dealing with children, times, music, things benefits that they may wish to follow up. Preaching helps. So it takes a while to get all that done. So it's a 2-year course, during which no summer courses, and it's one course, one Saturday a month. And then once they've got all their qualifications, for example, some of the police check, the required courses that they must have, the mandatory courses. Once they've got all that, then they're qualified, and there's a covenanting service with them at Presbytery where they receive their license. And then they're relicensed every year, again, having to meet all the qualifications.
So, Marni, what brought you into this ministry?
It's kind of funny, because July 4th, 1995, back about 5 months before that, Flora Crombie had asked me if I would be willing to preach on July 4th that year, and I thought, sure, a piece of cake, no problem. I studied at university, this will be easy. And of course, the more I got involved with it, the humbler I got, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is an exercise in humility. But I was going to do my best. And then when I was finished, another member of the congregation said, you've got a gift. Have you ever heard of the School of Lay Theology? And I said, no, I haven't. So we went out to his trunk, and he got me a brochure. And I did take 1 or 2 courses there, but I was really caught up in it, because I thought, these people are not ordained. They're not providing pastoral care per se, because that's not the training. But there is a very strong feeling of spirituality, I think, that where they need to channel the word. And any licensed lay worship leader I've spoken to has such a strong feeling about that. They may be different in a lot of other ways, but there are different approaches and the things they like to do, the hymns they like to sing, contemporary, classical. But the one thing, that is the one thing that I have found to be very strong in just about everyone I've spoken to.
It's certainly a very compelling path, I think, for many people.
It is.
And but it is a path that comes with challenges, for sure.
Yes.
And I really am so happy that you were here to tell us a little bit about what lay worship ministry is all about. And I would certainly invite anyone who has an interest in this area to please get in touch with Marni Hunt-Stevens. I'm going to have her email address on the credits when we're finished this. But right now, I just am so pleased that you came here and brought some light into this wonderful world of lay worship ministry. Thanks again. Thank you very much for being with us. And if you have any comments or suggestions for future shows, please don't hesitate to contact me at the coordinates that will be presented at the end of this video. Thanks very much for being with us.